I just want to learn a little bit more about the structure of the English for musicians. What the semester, typical semester will be like compared to the traditional EAP program.
Sure. Well, I can start by describing the traditional EAP, and then Amy, you want to chime in and describe our program. Um, so the EAP program is 20 hours a week of face-to-face courses, and that's 5 hours a week of speaking, 5 hours a week of listening, 5 hours a week of reading, and 5 hours a week of writing. And the program is focused on general academic purposes. And so the students are learning the same skills that we teach in our program: how to write an essay, how to do research, how to cite sources, how to listen to a lecture and take notes, basically how to interact and have a conversation, and then how to make a presentation. So those are the big skills that we believe, students need to have. Also, how to read an academic article and write a summary and a response. So that's basically the structure. And while students are in the English for Academic Purposes program, up to this point, they stay in this program until they complete it, and then they can begin studying for their degree program. So they typically do not take credit classes while they're in the English for Academic Purposes program, unless they've completed enough courses where they only have maybe 1 or 2 left, and then they might be able to take 1 or 2 credits, 1 or 2 courses at that point. But it's rare that students in the EAP program would take credit classes. So Amy, want to talk about English for musicians?
Sure. So as I said, there are 4 components: reading and writing, speaking, listening, and grammar. And then we have 2 courses that are important because the students have to pass a music history graduate placement exam and music theory graduate placement exam. So these 2 courses are survey courses, just to go back over what they need to know in order to pass the placement exams. Because if they don't, then they have to take extra classes. So those are the 4 components of the course. And then they take 2 hours, 2 credit hours of an applied lesson. So if you're a pianist, you take an hour lesson with our faculty. And they also take an ensemble for 1 credit. So if you're a singer, you take a choir, and that's the first semester. You're conditionally admitted to the university, okay? So they're not fully admitted until they pass English for musicians. Then that second semester, everything goes right, or Paula said, sometimes students need a little bit more help with grammar or stuff like that, but they can still go on, which is good. And usually they graduate in 2 years. So it doesn't put them behind. And that's really important because expenses and whatnot, we usually, if all goes well, but now what's happening with some of the international students is we have a certificate program. So what many of them are doing the master's degree and then staying 1 more year to get a certificate and prepare their auditions for their doctoral degree. So all of their coursework is done. It's just a performance certificate. And then they can do their doctorate and they end up getting another little degree. So that's kind of the wave of the future right now for a lot of American students as well.
Yeah, I'd like to chime in here and mention, just in terms of structure of the program, that we have 4 hours a week of reading and writing grammar. 4 hours a week. No, that's not true. Sorry, my bad. 5 hours a week of reading, writing, grammar. 5 hours a week of speaking and listening. Then 3 hours of music theory review, and 3 hours of music history review. And even though the music history and music theory review classes are, specifically designed to help the students pass the proficiency exam and give them the, foundational review that they need to take the upper level theory and history classes, those are also content-based classes where they're using the vocabulary they need. And so they're gaining fluency with and understanding of the words that they need to use to describe music. So it's all interconnected. It's like a woven pattern. It's like, it's like a blanket that we're creating, a complete piece. And so students are learning the vocabulary, the knowledge behind Western music history. Sometimes they don't know very much about that, depending on where they come from. And then the foundational academic skills are there too. How to read an article and, find the main ideas and write a summary of it. How to make a presentation of that summary with confidence.
And another way we assess that we're doing okay is one of our esteemed professors in the music department. His name is Dr. James Parsons, and he is the research teacher. And he, years ago, before this program, he would say, Amy, these students are having so many problems. I don't know what to do. And now, years later, he's just like, oh, this is so much better. I can tell they're coming in with much more knowledge and much more confidence because they have to make an oral presentation. And, so we're getting really good feedback from faculty. And the director of the graduate program, Dr. Prescott, just that they're doing better, that their communication skills, writing skills, all of that is so much better than it used to be before this program. And that's, of course, so important.
Wow, awesome. So I can tell the traditional English for academic purpose program is just preparing students for whatever major they might study in the future. But for our students, we are already sure that they will be in a musician field. And this English for Musicians program can much better prepare them for their major, for their own field, and transit much more smoothly than the traditional EAP program. And they build students' confidence and also help them to be more academic success in their own field. So this is great, and all your comments, all your feeling gave us confidence to promote this program to other majors.
Thank you.
Right. I start seeing that too. It's very encouraging to hear all the feedback from both students and faculty. Obviously, the results really speak the quality of this program. I think Amy mentioned that 40% of students went on doctoral studies in all the big schools, big universities in the States, and a very high retention rate. And also the the faculty's feedback, like the change, just kind of comparing the student in this program with the students to be admitted to the regular graduate program with English proficiency, meeting the English proficiency. I think these are encouraging results.